All right, so it's Saturday, July 19th, 2025. Do our Diecast was this week on Thursday, every third Thursday of the month. And I'm going to show you guys what I got. So let's start off with these cool Johnny Lightnings. Love the Meat Wagon Packard. I don't know if I've opened mine. Mine had a decent package, so if I didn't, that's a huge win, because I'll open up this one instead. Love this casting. I have it in 3 or 4 colors, I forget. I want to say I have it in black, tan, and silver. Like a weird flesh colored one. I think that was the first one I ever got. Always wanted this in yellow. Got a good deal on those. I partially traded for these. That was a great deal. Thank you very much, by the way. You know who you are. Actually, here you go. Should give a shout out. Check this dude out. He does great work. I showed you some of his work before. I bought a couple of nice high-end customs from him. So Griff Wheels out of, I believe he's out of Rhode Island. He's coming from far away to get down to get up to Tewksbury. This is awesome. So Dave brought these, and you know, he's such a generous guy. It's wild. I'm not being sarcastic at all. Like, he's genuinely a really generous, awesome guy, and he gives good deals. And in this case, he was selling some of these older Hot Wheels for $2 for a car, which is more than that. That's great. Actually, yeah, it was $2. Look at the Bradley stickers, by the way. Look at this. Holy cow. But anyway, he counted these as one. So, I mean, like, how do you beat that? Look at these. Lumina, Stalker, and the side splitter. Which is basically just a Trans Am funny car. And for $2 for the both of them. Like, what? This is one of those corgi castings. This fire truck. God, I can't bring myself to open these up, and it's anyway. This is just awesome. This one's missing tampos. I didn't even know this is a thing, but apparently you get this without tampos. Absolutely love it now. I'm gonna have to track down everyone I can find. I'm gonna grab and obviously share with, you know, other collectors if that's kind of your thing. I've always loved the A100, the Dodge A100. The ramp side version with the pickup was really cool. This Hummer was wild. I remember seeing this as a kid, but it didn't strike me as crazy to have the Hot Wheels logos up top back then, I guess. Now it's just coolest to collect. The Mustang with the opening hatch, which is actually an error car. Look at that, Ford Transit Wrecker. How cool is that? Love errors. And okay, what else is there? All right, here on the Mercedes. I hate the lighting indoors. That's why I do this stuff outside. I assure you, I'm not homeless. I just prefer to do my videos outside and get some fresh air. Speaking of which, I got to actually mow the lawn today. So we're living in a duplex now, and that's our backyard on the other half of that stretch. This is kind of the parking area. I joke around, but it's round headlights only. Got my Mercedes. Landlord has the Jeep. I got the BMW. Everything round headlights. Anyway, all right. So back to this cooler. By the way, is full of other things for trade. A lot of stuff in here. I've been lugging around. Some of this stuff's fairly new. Things for trade. All right. So anyway, hey, back on track. Yeah. So these are awesome. Also from Dave. Little information on this one. I for some reason in New England, this one was impossible to find. This Buick was, everybody snatched them up. This one, I had such a hard time finding a second red one. I bought one and I stashed it away in storage somewhere. I had such a hard time finding another red one. I ended up repainting a yellow one of the neon yellow ones, in red and detailing and everything else. And thank God I did, because the whole idea was to do a video with one of these that was abandoned in wear at an old Ford dealership. And that's a video you can find online. But anyway, that Seagrave, I did one of those videos where I held up the Seagrave and then I pulled it out. In the next shot, you'd saw the actual, 1940s Seagrave just like this. It's pretty cool. Or actually, it might be 50s, but in any case, that video is out there somewhere. Get some other bric-a-brac here, traveling and whatnot. This was Sean from Mass Diecast. Well, like he is Mass Diecast. I was blown away by this. He was so generous. He gave me this entire box. He's been lugging around for months. We've been talking about getting together, and he finally came out to me, which is obviously, like wicked appreciated that he was nice enough to do that. But I'm going to show you some of that stuff later. Jeff hooked me up with a box full of stuff. That's awesome too. That's definitely going to Amelia. This old Rusty's Lightning I've never seen. So this Avon bottle that's a Daytona, a Charger Daytona. Actually, is that a Superbird? No, it's supposed to be a Daytona. Anyway, all right, so I'll get back to that in a minute, but let me finish up with what I got off of Dave. So this is the lineup of loose stuff that I got from him. And I'm going to unwrap the one in bubble wrap in a second here, because that one's awesome. But look at the detail on these cars. I told myself I would make this video 20 minutes, but I mean, like, look at this thing. How cool is this? I've never seen one. Like, it's Speedy, Berlinetta, Dino by Pininfarina. Made in Italy. The car's made in Italy. The model's made in Italy. The real car's from Italy, obviously, as well. Look at the little trumpet logo. I've never heard of this company, Speedy. But look at this thing. It's got a spoiler front and rear. By the way, kudos to Ross for pointing that one out, because I might have overlooked it. The Porsche 910. I know not everybody loves these generic cheapies from the 1980s from Hong Kong. I love them. It is like, that is my jam. I love anything from Hong Kong. It's an awesome country. They're one of the few countries that have capitalism. Actually, I believe the only one that has capitalism written into the Constitution. This De Tomaso Pantera by Tommy Tamika is pretty awesome. When's the last time you saw a 73 Chevelle? Look at this. 427, not likely. But opening doors, Zilmax, Chevelle hardtop, which is completely incorrect. It's definitely not a hardtop. It is a post. Well, I guess in the 1970s they called it hardtop in some cases, even if it had B-pillars, which is stupid. It's backwards, but that's marketing for you. Yeah, another Lumina stock car. Not the same as the other one. Oh, well, it's just the wheels, I guess. But I knew when I walked up to it, it wasn't the same. But mostly it's the wheels. But that's still pretty cool that it's that close. All right, anyway, yeah, look at this. These things are so heavy, too. The Hot Wheels from the 1990s that are all metal are just wild. They feel like they're a quarter pound. I gotta fix this. That's okay. Just gotta get glued. That Jeep, which is totally okay. Got these things for ridiculous money. Like, most of what you're seeing here were, well, at least half of them were 50 cents each, so I cannot complain. But yeah, the few really high-end rare stuff, obviously I paid more money for. These things are ridiculous. Apparently the Hallmark store made these. They're so derpy. It's like such a Dr. Seuss sort of situation. I don't know if that's what it is, or anyway, look at this Cuddy Sark. This is still the original Corgi before Hot Wheels had the casting for a while there, until they lost it because they're stupid. Technically, this will be an unboxing video because I'm going to open this one up. Look at this thing. I love this casting as a kid. It's ridiculous, but I mean, come on. It's a twin-engined 1932 Ford. Like, how can you not love that? I do. I know I'm always still a child at heart, but twin-engine anything is awesome. Twin mill's cool and all, but that's a little more realistic. Teaming up those two crankshafts would be wild. Anyway, yeah, just some other odds and ends here. Good stuff. This thing is pretty cool. It's one of the early enamel cars with black walls. I don't think it's been repainted. Doesn't look to be. Oh wait, no, actually, this isn't even... I totally forgot. This is a Hong Kong car. Look at this. How cool is that? 1973. Patented USA and Canada. I've never seen that. Formula pack. Implication turbos. Look at that. The way the exhaust goes forward. I don't know, but I love it. I should learn more about that. I probably sound stupid right now. That's probably a whole backstory to that car that I don't know. Another one of these generic. Well, this one's called a Faye? Yeah. Tiger Jog 18, made in Hong Kong. I love this stuff. It's like, most of these cars are long gone. You know, and the thing is that I had some of these Hong Kong cars, and some of them did fall apart. They weren't the best quality, but, you know, they're worth remembering. And it's, you know, that's kind of one of the things I love about the diecast thing is, like, it's fun to look back on stuff that we saw in our childhood, even if you didn't have it. You know, again, this sort of crazy idea I have of maybe setting up a museum someday with vintage diecasts. Well, diecasts of all sorts, but especially the vintage stuff. You know, it's a part of it is that it just be so nostalgic for the few of us. Again, it would be, I know most people would never be able to appreciate something like that, but for the select few, you know, it would be awesome. There's another version of that same helicopter. Back in the day, almost all helicopters, the boom came out, the tail would kind of click out when you took it out of the package. They made it telescope for packaging reasons. All right, so let's take a look at this box. This is from Sean, and then I'm going to do Jeff's box last. Hold up, totally forgot about that last car from Dave. So this was not cheap. This one was a few bucks, but it was worth it to me. So look at this. It is a Ferrari 512. Is the what they called the S, which was really just a show car and a concept car. It's not the LM, you know, it's not the later 512s, but it was a early it was an early wedge car. And it was, in my opinion, it's one of the coolest wedge cars ever made. Huh. Weird little flies flying around. So, as you can tell, opens front and rear. Look at the engine detail on this thing. It's wild. And this is cool. Just like my other 1/43 scale LM, the headlights go up and down. Like, how cool is that? I don't care who you are. If you got this, even if your parents were loaded and you had all kinds of cool toys normally, if you got this as a gift, I mean, this was wild. It's such a beautiful piece. You know, I was on the fence about this because I have that yellow one in my parents' house that's almost the exact same size, and, you know, it's very similar. Actually got cubic zirconia for headlights. But I was kind of on the fence about it, and Ross steered me in the right direction because he was right. Like, this Spudafuoco company that made technically Hot Wheels, but in Italy. Mibi Toys, that's what it is. Mibi Toys and Mattel. I mean, they did such a nice job with them, and this is my third one from the, you know, of those, and it's just the coolest thing. You know, some people specifically don't collect other scales other than like the 1/64 size. I don't get that. I mean, I understand for storage and be able to hold on to them reasons. I get it on the one hand, but on the other hand, like, I mean, look at this thing. It's beautiful. All right, so this is not everything. There's a few things left in the box. Some parts vehicles and some ridiculous stuff. This thing's wacky. Definitely some good donor vehicles though for other projects. This thing is absolutely awesome. I'm blown away by this. So I didn't know that this existed. This is a Corgi Toys Whiz Wheels, which some of my earliest cars from my childhood were from my dad. They were Whiz Wheels. I showed those on this channel, the Bizarina Manta and other stuff. The Mantra, and then also the Dune Buggy. But anyway, this is a 240Z. It's still made in the Great Britain. Opening doors. And look at this. Absolutely 100% legit BRE livery on this thing. How cool is that? Then you get the cubic zirconia headlights. I mean, how cool is that? And this thing's in great shape considering how old it is. Like, I know it's really beat up, I get it. But when you consider how old it is, the doors are still on it, the wheels are still on it. I mean, I guess I have a different set of parameters than some people. To me, a Survivor is still really cool. It's obviously not, you know, it's not as display worthy as some of the mint stuff, and the windshield's broken. That's unfortunate. But I love this thing. And you know what? If I never find a mint one, it's okay. I've got one that survived somebody's childhood, you know, and not everybody can collect. You know, this is probably $100 mint on eBay, and I'm never going to pay that. But it's nice to have this one. It's got a little bit of patina. That's okay. This Ford does need a restoration. It's missing a lot of things, but the engine's there, including the fan. I mean, look at that. You guys see that? Look at the detail on this thing. It's wild. That's a pretty cool casting. Again, it does need a restoration. It needs new trumpets and side view mirrors, and some other odds and ends. But I mean, the wheels are there. It's not broken. It's not bent. I fixed the this right here, the pillar in the middle of the windshield. It was really wonky. I fixed that already. Just messing around with it. I love how you can see the wheel well arch right here from when it would have been the other style cab over that, you know, had the engine behind and technically not a cab over. But anyway, it says diesel right on here. I love that. This thing's awesome. Again, thanks again, Sean. I really appreciate it, man. It's awesome. All right, now for the rest of this stuff. I mean, I can't take the time to make a video of every little detail, every car. You got a bunch of NASCAR stuff here. Some other odds and ends. A couple of twins, Texas twins, the Dodge Dakotas. It's funny, you got Texas written all over it. It's Dakota. This thing's awesome. Check this out. Best of the West. That's pretty ridiculous. I love it. The pig. SpongeBob van I didn't even know they ever made, which is awesome. I used to think SpongeBob was the dumbest crap ever. And of course I'm too old for it, you know, and it came out just before I had my own kids. And so we'd watch it occasionally, and I thought it was so stupid. But, you know, I mean, he's got a job. He's respectful to his elders. It's really not the worst show. It is hilarious. Even when I thought it was stupid, I thought it was pretty funny. So, R.I.P. Steve. Anyway, yeah, I mean, just cool stuff. I don't think I have this 57 Chevy, and I love this casting as a kid, so I'm shocked that I don't have it. It must have come out in that time period when I wasn't really collecting, when I was in my late teens or whatever. And I kind of stopped this nonsense for a while, believe it or not. Definitely caught up and then some. But I'm going to show you a few cool things. This casting's been completely ruined in recent years. This is not independent. The bat is cast right into the body. It's just terrible. It's like so many things Hot Wheels is dumbed down. The new one is just not even worth buying, in my opinion. Look at that. We got a Shark-Nosed Ferrari, by the way. Some other cool stuff here. I mean, genuinely, this is a great bundle of stuff, and I really appreciate it. There's one Scale Dreams will never get his hands on. Alright, so there we go. Got that thing. And then, by the way, there was 3 red lines in here. Look at this thing. It's the Stutz themed highway robber. How cool is this thing? So this is one of those red lines. I would have never paid big money for one. I've always admired them. I thought they were kind of cool. They just always seem to be a bit overpriced. And I was waiting to find one at a yard sale for $1 or $2, so this worked out great. And then the Monza. I mean, look at this thing. Once again, yes, the paint's missing, of course. Most of the paint's gone. But, you know, the axles are straight. Like, it got played with, but it didn't get destroyed. Some kid loved this thing. Look at this. Some kid hauled this around their pocket. They probably, their aunt or, you know, maybe their uncle had one and they love this car. And I love that. All right, what else? Kid painted. There's a whole Instagram called Kid Painted Hot Wheels. Or maybe it's a Facebook page, but this is definitely a fantastic candidate. I love this thing. On the flip side of things, on the opposite end of the spectrum, this thing was just like a gross flat black. And I took some gasoline on a rag, and I just cleaned off most of it, and I was like almost to the point where it was almost all gone, and I thought, you know what, I'll leave a little bit on there. You know, just a little bit of a homage to the old paint job some kid did, and left the black mostly towards the end, which, I mean, it's a funny car to be doing burnouts. Yeah, how cool is that? That still qualifies technically for Kid Painted Hot Wheels because of the interior. Very cool. Alright. Well, it's the one nice thing about not overpaying for mint stuff. You can drop it in the grass. Ain't the end of the world. But yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff here. And I do appreciate it, Sean. Thank you. You know, there's a lot of toxic people in this community, but there's way more really good, wholesome collectors and people that, you know, are actually pretty cool. And I appreciate that. I'm going to show you some cars from Jeff before I end off. Stop the video. This is a Hong Kong T-Bird, TNT Bird. Actually, this also kid painted. I'm going to leave this one alone. There's something... I like this for some reason. This is a really crusty, chunky patina that I normally consider to be too much, but I'm going to leave it as is. I kind of like it. Oh yeah, and real quick, there's a couple of other wacky things here. Look at this generic square body Blazer. It's K5 with opening doors. Fantastic shape. How cool is that? I would have absolutely bought this casting if I'd seen it in the stores back in the day. Doors open. Always been a big fan of K5s. I owned one at one point. It's funny how it has a sunroof, which makes no sense, but hey, whatever. I mean, I guess it does make sense. You could have had a sunroof in the later, you know, the half convertibles. But yeah, this thing's awesome. Just another one of those generic things, but it's actually a great little truck. I like it. Happy to add this to my collection. This particular one over here, this Husky, this thing's wild. Look at this. Calmer walk-through van. And it has sliding doors, front and rear. Look at that. I mean, on right and left. So both the doors open. Once again, this one's real crusty, but that's all right. Still awesome. Can you see the guy in there? Pretty funny. All right, so last but not least, we've got the all the stuff that Jeff scored for me, including this brand new K5 that it was just put out. It's a very similar casting to the Amityville, or you know what I mean, the Jaws truck, not Amityville. What was the name of the town in Jaws? I forget. Amityville was the horror movie. Anyway, yeah, look at this cool Tootsie toy. It's like a gull wing cheetah situation. I love weird stuff like this. I've never seen this one, or if I have, it's been so many years I forgot, and I don't think I have one. This thing's cool. Always love these. I was actually going to buy a second one of these to take down to Massachusetts for that collection, because I've got a few there, but not the complete set. I mean, I definitely don't have every single version of the GMC motorhome they ever made, but this thing, even though it's a parts car, is really cool. think it's worth restoring. I wonder if I can get, I don't know, maybe there's one on eBay that is missing a few things or is crushed or something, but it has most of the bits and bobs. If I can make generic doors for it, I mean, the doors probably wouldn't be too hard to make. I don't know. It'd be a worthy restoration project someday. As would be this, which is missing just a driver's seat, one headlight lens and side view mirrors. It's a little banged up, but it is a Paul's Model Art, mini champs. Beautiful model. Very, very high end. Back in their day, they were not cheap. And they're still not cheap on eBay. Yeah, so we got some other cool stuff, including an Avon decanter, Charger Daytona. Yeah, so there you go. That's the last of it. I appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right, one last thing. Look at this. Corgi Juniors. Still made in Great Britain. Always fun to find those. And the super van and everything else. Thanks again, Jeff. Hope everybody has a nice weekend.